My girlfriend's company was having a Halloween party and it was to be a Disney-themed costume party, so about 1 week before the party we went to the suggested store that was supposed to have a large variety of Disney-themed costumes. Carla and I looked around at many costumes: Sleeping Beauty and Prince Charming, Peter Pan and Tinker Bell, Beauty and the Beast, and we finally came across Mickey and Minnie. Clara became excited with these costumes and told the clerk that we would take these. They were simple and easy. The Mickey costume was a black long-sleeve turtleneck, black tights, black spandex hood with Mickey ears, a pair of red shorts with suspenders, some oversized red shoes, white gloves, and last a mouse nose that glued onto your face. It seemed simple and easy. The Minnie costume for Clara was almost the same, other than Minnie had a red polka dot dress with a white petticoat, a long-sleeved bodysuit black on top with the bottom part red with white polka dots and lace trim around the legs to look like the wearer has panties on, and some red high-heeled shoes. The clerk took our deposit and told us the costumes could be picked up the morning of the party. The week building up to the party, Carla did nothing but talk about the party and the costumes and how excited she was, how she couldn't wait for Friday. Well, Friday final came, and over breakfast Clara said she would pick up the costumes and drop mine off at my work, then head back to her office and get the office ready for the party and come back and get me. That afternoon Clara came into my office, glued the mouse nose to my face, told me to take off my clothes and threw my suit into a bag, and said she was going to drop it off at the cleaners on her way back to her office. She then handed me some black spandex underwear and told me to take off my boxer shorts and put the underwear on. When I pulled the underwear up and looked at them, I saw they looked like a pair of Clara's control panties and said so. She just laughed and said, "You got me there." "They are," she then said, "they are better than your boxers under the tights," and threw me a package of tights. She then helped me put them on. Then Clara was out the door stating she would call me in half an hour before coming to pick me up, and was gone. I sat back at my desk waiting for the glue to dry on my Mickey nose. Before I finished I could get any more of the costume out of the box or on the phone rang, and I got into long business call, sat down at my desk in just the tights, and before I knew it, over an hour since Clara left and was getting dark. Everyone else was gone from my office, including my secretary. I opened the big box with my name on it and pulled out first box and opened it. Inside was long-sleeve turtleneck, but it wasn't my turtleneck, or at least the one I thought was mine. Inside the box was the half-black turtleneck bodysuit with the bottom part being red with a white polka dot pattern and a wide lace bands around the leg openings. I opened the second box only to find the red and white Minnie Mouse polka dot dress with the white petticoat, and in the last box was the spandex hood with the Minnie Mouse ears complete with red polka dot bow between the ears, as well as the white gloves and red pumps. I grabbed my phone, called Clara only to get her voicemail. I left a message telling her to call me right away and sat down and waited for her to return the call. After waiting about half an hour, I tried to call the costume shop, but the recording said they were closed. So after not hearing from Clara, I figured I would just put my clothes on and go home, only to discover that Clara had taken all my clothes including my shoes with her before leaving. After sitting down and trying to figure out how to get some clothes, I just laughed and said, "What the heck," and picked up the bodysuit and stepped into it and pulled at my body, put my arms through the sleeves and pulled the suit all the way up and reached around and pulled the zipper closed. At this point I noticed that the suit had a bra built in, not that I needed it or could use it, so I laughed. Then I grabbed the dress, pulled on over my head and slid it down over the bodysuit, straightened the skirt and built a nylon net petticoat at the bottom, and walked out into the outer office and looked at myself in one of the large mirrors in the hall and laughed. I flipped up the skirt exposing the polka dot bottom and laughed some more before heading back to my office to take the costume off and wait for Clara's call. While walking back to my office, I saw some Halloween balloons hanging up on the wall and grabbed them and took them into the bathroom, let the air out, filled them with water, and brought them back to my office. After taking the dress back off me, I unzipped the bodysuit, opened it up, and put the balloons into the bra cups and pulled the zipper back up and looked at myself in the mirror with boobs, jiggled them some, then laughed. When I went to pull the zipper back down to remove the balloons, the zipper on the bodysuit broke off in my hand. Crap! I reached around and kept trying to get the zipper open, but it just wouldn't go down. What to do? I tried to call Clara again, and this time I got her. I explained that I had the wrong costume and then explained what happened. She said, well, I can't come back there with the other costume, so you'll just have to wear my costume here. Now get your costumed butt to the party right now. Then I figured, what the heck, grabbed the dress, put it back on, grabbed the hood, pulled it over my head and down under my chin, straighter the ears, grabbed the pumps, tried them on, and discovered they fit. Finally, I put the white gloves on and walked out of my office and out to the street. God, I was scared but also intrigued. The walk to the party seemed to take forever, the wind blowing up the skirt and trying to hold the skirt down. The people pointing at me and laughing didn't help either. The block and a half to Clara's office building seemed to take forever, and the whole time I had to listen to the swishing of the petticoat, feeling the water-filled balloons bouncing on my chest, the silky tights caressing my shaven legs. Clara had insisted the night before that I shave them because I was going to be wearing tights and the hair would ruin the look and possibly run the tights. And hearing the clicking of the heels on the concrete, I finally reached Clara's office and walked into the party and started looking for Clara, only to see her standing by the punch bowl still in her street clothes. She looked at me and started laughing and kept laughing as she walked over to me. After wiping the tears from her eyes from laughing so hard, she pulled me over to her office and said, well, at least it fits you. Now come on, let's go get changed and have some fun. We went back to her office where she tried to unzip the zipper but it wouldn't budge. After some more laughing, she said, I guess you'll just have to wear that costume until we get home and we can figure out how to get it off of you. That's when she noticed the boobs I had made. She squeezed them, then got a strange look on her face and said, oh, you're really into this costume, aren't you, huh? She then pointed for me to sit in a chair, and when I did, she went into another office with her box and came out about 10 minutes later with my Mickey costume on, black turtleneck, black tights and red shorts with suspenders and of course the Mickey ears on. Clara walked over to me and said, don't move, and pulls out a makeup kit and proceeds to put eyeliner, eyeshadow, mascara and lipstick on me. Then she hands me a Mickey Mouse purse and pulls me roughly out of the office area and into the large open area and pulls me to the front of the room and up to a large table where 3 people are sitting. At the table, she introduces me to the people sitting there, her boss's wife and the company owner. Clara asks them, you like the twist in our costumes? It was his idea to go as Minnie and for me to go in Mickey. I just stood there feeling my face turn red from embarrassment. They laugh and we walk away from the table. The rest of the night I go through the humiliation of being introduced as Clara's boyfriend and her telling everyone it was my idea for me to dress up as Minnie and her as Mickey. At one point, while I'm standing with Clara having some punch, Clara pulls up my skirt and back and the petticoat and says the costume also has these, showing the bottom half of the bodysuit made to look like a matching panty for the dress. And then Clara begins to laugh along with the people. She's showing what's under my skirt too. I turn around and try to give the Clara a nasty look, but she just laughs. A little later, as the party is winding down, there is an announcement made that the costume judging is over and they are about to announce the winners. We stand by the front as they start announcing the winners. Number 3 is Cinderella, and number 2 is a guy dressed as the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and finally the winner is announced and it's me. How embarrassing. Clara swats my butt and says, go get them, Minnie, and pushes me to the front among some wolf whistles. I walk up to the front where I have to stand with different people as pictures of me are taken. I am finally given my prize, a gift certificate and a trophy. When it comes time to go home, a bunch of Clara's coworkers approach her, say they are going to the bar down the street for some drinks and want us to go with them. Before I can get a word in, Clara says, sure, we'll go, and turns to me and smiles. I find myself once again walking down the street in high heels and a dress with everyone looking and pointing at me. We reach the bar and end up standing at one of the bar, which is packed with people in costumes, so at least I'm not alone in that aspect. We have a couple of drinks and are standing around talking when suddenly someone in the crowd grabs my rear and gives a squeeze. I'm shocked and surprised and turn around to see some guy dressed as a pirate smile and say in a slurred manner, how about a dance, beautiful? I look at him in disbelief, then shake my head no, and he staggers off to find someone else, while Clara and the rest of the girls laugh. Finally, it's time to leave, and as Clara and I are leaving, one of the girls tells Clara how she liked our costumes and hopes we can top it next year, to which Clara says, "I'm sure we can. Maybe next year I'll have him come as Alice in Wonderland." They all laugh as I feel my face blush, and we walk out of the bar and to Clara's parked car. Once in the car, Clara drives us home, where she laughs and says how proud she is of me for wearing the mini costume and coming to the party, like I had a choice. Sitting in the car, I realize how I actually like wearing the costume and begin to wonder/hope she would really dress me up as Alice from Wonderland. I picture myself in the blue dress with the white pinafore and tights and a blonde wig,